What's happening, people? Back with another Thompson Twins reaction, and we're back to start a new album. That's right, we're going to go to Into the Gap, 1984. Once again, big shout out to Han Solo for making this available, and we're going to listen to the first tune, which is Doctor Doctor, with exclamation points after each one. So phrased in that way, it sounds like an exclamation. I mean, it sounds like it might be a high tempo kind of energetic tune where Doctor Doctor might be used in the chorus. It just kind of has that feel. But yeah, if, taken conceptually, it sounds like there's an emergency or some situation where a doctor is being clamored for, whether that's, someone fainting in a public, social event, or if we're actually, in a hospital and someone has, gone to code blue and it's like, doctor, doctor, and, they're pushing a gurney down the hallway. It sounds like intensity. It sounds like there is something that a doctor's attention specifically is required for. So, yeah, and that makes me think about someone's health or life being in danger. Now, that could be idiomatic, oh, the music is so hot, I need a doctor, that kind of thing. So I feel like it might not be as dire or severe as it sounds. But yeah, it's an interesting title, and one that, like I said, I think would lend itself well to a sort of energetic kind of vibe and a chorus. Now, obviously, that might be nothing related to the sonics of the tune. There are times where you can take a concept that maybe sounds like it's running in one direction and deliberately sort of contrast it with a different atmosphere. So we'll see any of these possibilities being relevant or not. Let's get it. This is Thompson Twins. The tune is Doctor Doctor, and it's the first track on the 1984 album Into the Gap. I like the electrical synth rhythm, but also those little crystalline touches.
I saw you there,
castanet,
just standing there, and I thought I was only dreaming, yeah. I kissed you then,
hey.
and then once again.
That little castanet thing is reminding me of the big hit of theirs I already knew. I like the bass.
Gives at night, gives such delight. We all leave before morning light. Please don't go. No, please don't go. 'Cause I don't want to stay here on my own.
I really like his voice.
Can't you see I'm burning, burning?
So it's not immediately medically serious, but it is that I can't even think straight, my mind is on fire, the love doctor needs to help me. Like the chimes, kind of Vangelis sort of sound. I like that. Little pitter-patter percussive layers.
Can't you
am thinking of Monty Python's Medical Love Song, which then goes in a totally, takes this in a different direction.
Can't you see I'm burning, burning? Oh,
Shot of penicillin might help. Sorry.
come with me. I make believe
I love these sections.
we can travel to eternity.
Okay, I will do. Fading. Thought it was fading for a second. It is. It's a slow fade. See innumerable other videos I've made. But all things considered, that's the kind of fade that I'm cool with. It's a longer fade, so it's more gradual. It lets you kind of come to terms with it rather than just dropping off a cliff. And there weren't any like vocal flourishes, there weren't any crazy new synth parts that we hadn't heard before, or at least like extensions or elaborations of a synth part we hadn't heard before. It was just sort of like taking that instrumental groove slowly out of the track. So as far as fade out endings go, that's like my favorite kind right there. Nevertheless, yeah, I enjoyed it. I will say more parts of that felt like Hold Me Now than anything I heard on Quick Step and Sidekick. So it's interesting, you know, as we move forward in their catalog, I wonder if like that's kind of the sound they're heading toward, knowing, you know, when I was listening to Quick Step and Sidekick, which wasn't even their first album, right? Isn't that like their third album? I'm suddenly sort of like remembering that when I first started going through this, yeah, in fact, it's their fourth album, or maybe it's just their third, I'm not sure. It looks like their fourth, because it looks like A Product Of, and then In the Name of Love, and then Set, and then Quick Step and Sidekick. So yeah, apparently this is the fifth album. So it makes me wonder if the sound that I had maybe thought I knew what they sounded like, which I think is just based literally on one or two songs, it makes me wonder if we're kind of moving toward that, and perhaps, you know, leaving some of the sounds that I've heard in the last album behind. Nevertheless, I don't know enough about their music or their chronology to like make any like definitive statements in that regard after one tune on this album. I would just say that, you know, with the castanets and some of the vocal layering where it's like a lower voice and then a high voice kind of doing the same line right above it, there were moments that felt close to Hold Me Now, relative to more close to it than anything I heard on Quick Step and Sidekick. Regardless of comparative assessments, I did really enjoy it. I loved the verse sections. It had a really nice sort of synth kind of like down-tempo groove in the verse section. So yeah, top tune, excited for the rest of the album. And yeah, I'll try to keep going through TT as quickly as I can. You know, I'm doing a lot of deep dives, so there might be a few days between. But if it goes longer than a week or something, just give me a comment, you know, just let me know, like, hey, it's been a little while, are you going to go back to that? I will not in any way be upset. Indeed, I will be appreciative. So do let me know if it's been a little while, but we will keep going through Thompson Twins, and yeah, let me know what you think of this one. Peace.